Hello.
Welcome. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the Medicare Cafe. You are joined by your hosts. My name is Olivia Richardson.
And I'm Clayton Clemens.
And we have just been, I know it's shocking to believe with this crew, it's been pure chaos for the last 10 minutes that we've been in here.
It has.
It's been pure chaos. We've covered a lot of topics. First of all, Alex, our producer, is getting a mic because you have a lot of one-liners and a lot of insight to offer. I don't know. And that's honestly, like, I think that's my life is just, like, one bit after another. We've talked about this a lot, Alex. So I have nothing going for me other than one-liners. And every once in a while, something sticks.
Yeah.
So that, and then you guys were also talking about sports. If we prefer professional basketball versus college basketball, I prefer 5th and 6th grade girls basketball. I think it's entertaining. It's all about the fundamentals.
You can't gamble on that, though.
You absolutely can gamble on that. You're just not going to do it.
Not on my
apps. You can't do it through an app. I have a friend. I have a buddy who, good morning and Happy New Year. I have a buddy who gambling via an app became legal in Missouri at the last year. And I have a buddy that he has recently found out he has a gambling problem because of it.
That happens.
And so he's up at 3 a.m. betting on, like, Japanese table tennis.
Oh, I did that.
Oh, you did that?
Oh.
I think you're the buddy.
No, I bet on table tennis because there was nothing else to bet on the rest of the evening, and I won.
That's what he says. He's like, I can't lose.
You can. You can. I'm down pretty good now.
We don't have to get there. This is actually a cry for help. This is a very public, what's it called whenever the guy comes in the door?
I mean, technically I'm up, but I'm all right.
Okay. So, good morning, NCAA. I'm the same way, Will. I think college basketball is way more entertaining than professional and we agreed on this, not that it's more entertaining, but we agreed that my reasoning is correct.
Oh. Yeah.
Professional basketball, first of all, there are no rules. They travel, they carry, they double dribble. There are no rules. They just run. I said you can't shoot a layup.
It's like the Globetrotters.
It truly is. You can't shoot a layup from half court. Like that's.
You can. There's like three guys that can.
They do. And then, but then college basketball, I still love it because they still are fighting for a reason. They're trying to make it pro. There's still rules still apply there. Fundamentals is a word I hear a lot, and defense wins championships.
Yeah, there's a lot of scrappy rebounding that just doesn't happen in the NBA. You just
no one boxes out.
No one jumps. There's
they
like
shoot and they're like this, and there's like if it goes in, it goes in. If it doesn't,
no one follows their shot.
No, it makes me upset.
What my 9th grade basketball coach taught me is
why I like 5th and 6th grade.
Okay, you might have convinced me, but Kevin Durant's not in college anymore. So
or 5th and 6th grade.
If he has a kid one day and there's a Kevin Durant Jr., I'll be back into college.
You'll get back into it. Guys, today it is the first Medicare Cafe episode of 2026. I am somebody, I think I said this in the last Cafe episode, that I was telling somebody that, well, in 2027, next year we're doing this, like Olivia, next, like in a few days is 2026. And I was like, oh my gosh, we've been so used to talking about 2026 plans, 2026 goals, 2026 market, 2026 guidelines, that like I just completely skipped the year.
Yeah, Medicare has a weird way of warping time and saying like, no, you're talking about next year already.
Yes.
Like the second you hit New Year's.
Yes. William, before we move on from this, you can actually afford to go to a college basketball game. That's why we were just talking about it. I love minor league hockey. I went to a Kansas City Mavericks hockey match last weekend. It is my favorite experience. My son has like decked out on Mavericks.
You've told me that for a few years
Go
now.
to a minor league hockey game. One, they want to make it league, so the fights are harder, the hits are harder. They're out there just getting after it. And two, there's a lot of cheaper things you can enjoy there.
Yeah.
Okay. Hot dogs. Today. On the Medicare Cafe, what we're going to try to talk about, what we're going to try to focus on is going to be focusing, and 2026 just in general, what we want to do is find ways to help you guys. What is something that you can take tomorrow that is going to help you implement, and you can implement today. It's going to help you tomorrow, so really quick turnaround things. And I also want to help make sure that we're setting you up for the long term, making sure that we're setting you up for how do you keep your doors open in 30 years. And so when we're kind of coming up with this formula, but like what is something that accomplishes both of that? The first thing that came to mind was the difference in talking about and recognizing the differences between prospecting and marketing. And I think it's really relevant to talk about right now because a bunch of us, people who are, if you wrote business during AEP, then you know that you have yet to see the fruits of your labor other than just happy customers. And that's because we haven't gotten or we have not received our AEP commissions yet. Clayton, when does that typically happen? When do we start seeing commissions?
So we'll see some in later January. I know our support team here had built out a whole calendar because I think some of them will trickle into February.
Yeah.
But like, we'll have somebody mess up and it'll be March.
Sure. Oh, 100%. Always. I was going to say it'll be WellCare, but they don't pay commissions anyways.
Yeah. Well, maybe not anymore. It might be good.
It might be good. So the idea of this is whenever we get this large sum of money for some, this you've worked an entire quarter to get this check in the mail in January. First of all, the commissions do look kind of weird because you get some of it and then they do the true ups to make sure how many people actually stayed, and then you might get some chargebacks if people left. It's going to look weird, but if you have questions on what your commission statements look like, the AEP commissions always just look funky.
Oh yeah.
But either way, you're going to get a bunch of money into a checking account, savings account, wherever you have your money going into. And one of the things that people tend to overlook is going to be investing in things that are not tangible things. Like people will immediately go get a new car. People immediately go get new TVs, new stuff. And if you really want to, or they'll go and like for things, sometimes it is for your agency, getting a new desk, getting a new stuff for your waiting room. It's really easy to invest that stuff into tangible things because we feel good about that. What people tend to really overlook, especially at the beginning of the year, is your marketing and prospecting strategy and is investing your dollars into making more dollars.
Yeah, and like really assessing like what worked last year. Let's talk about what's going to work this year. Let's see how we can do that. And I think that is a big conversation that everybody should be having, either with their FMO, internally with their office, and just like, what are we doing this year with that?
Yeah. The biggest mistake I see people make when it comes to building a marketing plan, right? So we've done a ton of trainings on marketing plans and a ton of designs. We've designed them. I know that's a big part of your job is actually working with agents to come up with these marketing plans. When I'm working with somebody, and sometimes it's my most veteran agents, but with the conversation, what I find to be the biggest mistake is they put all of their eggs in one basket. They have like, I'm going to invest my money into lead drop. I'm going to invest my money into seminars. I'm going to invest my money into whatever. And so that's something that the first thing we say is when you're designing a marketing strategy is you do a 3-pronged approach, because sometimes it'll hit and sometimes it'll be a miss, and you always have to keep your funnel full. Yeah. So before we kind of get into what your 3-pronged strategy could potentially look like, I want to break down the differences of marketing versus prospecting, because oftentimes what I see is if new agents tend to put all of their eggs in prospecting and do nothing marketing wise, veteran agents tend to do all marketing, or typically like will do nothing. Yeah. And completely ignore prospecting. So let's break down the difference of marketing versus prospecting. The best way that I can operate this is prospecting is, how do I get an appointment tomorrow? How do I get a butt in the seat across from me or somebody to answer the phone? How do I make more dollars, more sales tomorrow? That is prospecting clients. Marketing is going to be more of, what am I doing to keep my doors open in 30 years? Yeah. What am I doing to build a brand, to build a reputation that what I call is like a magnet brand? Yeah, how do I attract people versus and it requires a less strong call to action. How do I attract people to want to work with me without me having to go and like hit them over the head with the messaging?
Tell them, come work with me.
Yes, 100%. Are you familiar with push versus pull marketing?
Yes.
We've talked about this a ton.
Only because of you.
I went to college and I learned like 3 things in college. One of it was push versus pull marketing. The other was a SNOT analysis, and the third I can't talk about on the internet. But push versus pull marketing. Well, do you want to take the honors? I talk a lot.
Okay. Yeah. So like push marketing, like what are you essentially pushing out to your people? What are you doing to get in front of them? And it's usually a tangible thing or a message that they're hearing either on the radio, TV, something like that, where you're getting out in front of them. So that push, like you're pushing it out in front of the people.
I always think it like you're just kind of jamming content down their throat.
Listen to me.
You're pushing it in there. And the big thing is like the call to action isn't necessarily always even your services. The call to action is going to be like one thing, like respond to this for a Medicare review. So it is technically your services, but it's like one thing that is strong enough and it's enticing enough that is exchange their information. They're willing to exchange something for it. They're willing to exchange their time for this one piece that you're offering them, or their information if they're returning a lead card. They're willing to exchange something that you were offering that was so enticing, but it has nothing to do with you. It doesn't matter if it was you or if it was Charlie down the street if they saw the message made them act, not you.
Like a ebook I've seen be something that people
That's a
send
huge
out.
one. Yeah, if you
Like, give me your email and I'll give you this ebook.
yes,
You know,
there's no
like
ease.
a lot of
Used
ebooks.
to
Yeah.
be eyes, now it's ease.
What was the eyes?
iPhones, iPads, iPhones.
The
again,
ePhone?
iDog. There was an iTouch. Or do you remember the iTouch? iDog. That was a thing. It was a robot dog.
Did Apple make a dog? This is why
Did
he
Apple
needs a
make a dog?
microphone.
Sure, it was ripped off.
Okay.
That's probably why he doesn't
This is
exist
why
anymore.
This is why Alex needs a
He
mic.
needs a microphone.
Pull marketing. So tell me why push marketing is different from pull marketing.
Okay, so then pull marketing is exactly what it sounds like. Again,
Mm-hmm.
is what are you doing to pull people into you?
Mm-hmm.
What are you showing them that's like, wait, I want to work with them?
Yes.
Like different services that you're providing for your people, and you're just kind of like showcasing it enough.
Mm-hmm.
Like good Google reviews are something that I kind of view in that category of like,
Sure.
oh, wait, you're doing this for those people, and it
Mhm.
pulls people in to say, I want to work with you.
Yeah.
And you're doing nothing other than just like showcasing this is what I do for everybody. So
I think the best way is like they found you by doing their own research.
yes.
Like sometimes that's word of mouth, sometimes that's just brand familiarity. The best pull marketing is brand familiarity.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's again, like word of mouth, referrals, things like that. But it's like they're familiar. They don't have to do research into you in particular because like their environment has let them know what they need to know about you.
Mhm.
It's, it doesn't, we talk about that like a plumber. No, I'm actually going down a different one. I was talking about like, doesn't matter. Forget the plumber. Who mentioned a plumber?
Mario and Luigi did.
Oh, there's a new movie coming out.
I heard.
I'm really
Baby
excited about it.
Bowser.
Now I'm already mad.
No, Aubrey's hype, so I'm hype.
Anyways, I'm glad we forgot about the plumber comment. So again, that's where it comes down to it. And the best marketing strategies, the best 3-pronged marketing system is going to accomplish both of those things. It is going to help you regardless of where you're at in your career. You might have, early on in your career, you might be more worried about prospecting, but you still have to have an essence of marketing in there. Later on in your career, you may just be more concerned about, let me just say it like this. What I find a big mistake agents make is later on in their career, they do none of it. You really should be, if you're less worried about prospecting, you should at least be very concerned with marketing.
Yeah.
And that is brand recognition, brand building. You have to make it easy like if you say like I worked with so many agents like, oh, I don't do any of that. 100% of my business comes from word of mouth or referrals. You have to make it easy for your clients to refer.
Yeah.
Yes, you have to like if
That's
that
the
your
part.
is that your social media presence? Is that like if you have to be easy to be referable if you're going to expect your clients to refer you. The biggest example I give is like think of number one fast food company go. McDonald's, 100%. What advertisement do you see constantly during a Super Bowl, during commercials, during golden years, all commercials you see?
Golden arches.
Golden arches. They're everywhere. McDonald's
God, I'm
is the
hungry.
number. I know. Oh, I need to show you guys a picture. I got on the way home from the Mavericks game the other day. I got a McFlurry, and they literally just gave me an Oreo McFlurry.
In like a weird paper cup.
On a paper cup, but I can get over the paper cup.
Okay,
If
what
I
are you
can
upset about? The spoon?
no, literally, I asked for an Oreo McFlurry. It was a cup of vanilla ice cream and like 3 little Oreo things on top. I was so mad.
I'd call.
At least
the
ice cream. At least the ice cream machine wasn't broken. Anyways,
Slept on our cookies, but anyway, continue.
so that's why McDonald's is one of the most worldwide well-known brands in existence. Coca-Cola is the same way. Budweiser's another one. Who was paying? They didn't say, well, everybody knows who we are. We're done here. They're spending a tremendous amount of dollars. The most well-known brands in the world are still spending
Really good
billions of dollars to help create brand recognition.
They're just like, remember I'm on top. It's kind of like what they're doing.
100%. Remember who we are. Remember we're on top. Remember we're still relevant. Brand recognition is so hard to do as a local agent or, whatever the case may be, because it's just a hard one to have the budget to do it is something. But just to nobody, I'll say it like this. Insurance, guys, I hate to admit it, insurance isn't like super sexy. Like nobody except for the people at McDonald's. I'm on a big McDonald's kick today. The coffee goers in McDonald's at 6 a.m. in the morning,
God,
they do.
Wait to be one of those guys.
They do. They talk about their insurance. They do talk about that. But other than that very specific group of people, it's hard like to keep top of mind because people think about you once during AEP or whenever people are talking about it, and twice when they're getting ready to use their insurance. Yeah. That's whenever they want to talk to you.
Or like they signed up and they used you once and they're like, cool, I'm done with insurance now.
I did it. I did the thing.
I've done the insurance.
You've done your job. I'll see you next time. I need to have a question about my insurance. So it is more difficult for people in our industry to be top of mind, to be, you can't be the chapstick of lip balms. You can't be the Kleenex of face tissues. Oh, that's not what they're actually called. That's just the brand because they're top of mind.
Chapstick, like that one hurt. I was like, wait, what are you saying?
Chapstick is not what it's called. It's called lip balm or lip ointment. Chapstick is the brand, right?
It's chapstick.
How do you how do you equate your name so well? Velcro? Velcro's not what it's called. Velcro's the brand. Velcro is the company?
Not the thing.
What's it actually called?
Like hook and hoop.
Hook and hoop? Did you guys know that Velcro is not actually called Velcro? That's just the company? I don't know that. I can continue. Get this man a microphone. The point being is that familiarity, it is so important for your name, your brand, your everything to be more familiar. Familiarity equals trust. Trust will equal sales. If you don't have that innate familiarity, even if they don't know who you are, if you don't have that innate familiarity, then it takes so much longer. You're going to close less sales because you're having a whole nother barrier to come over. They don't know who you are. It's why people trust brands like Nike over maybe higher quality, low cost brands of other things because they don't know the name of that brand. Brand recognition is so incredibly important. I'd also say if you're somebody who's wanting to eventually grow, either if you are already in that mindset, but you want to add downline agents or you want to add administrative staff, you just want to grow the size of your agency, having a magnet brand, which is only created by familiarity and good reputation, having a magnet brand does the recruiting for you.
I have literally never thought of that. Where were you not teaching me this earlier?
So sorry.
I'm irritated.
It's almost like if you would watch the cafe, you would get these bits of knowledge.
Well, if I'm not on it, it's not as good.
Honestly.
We haven't done an episode together in too long.
I'm telling Carrie and Jalen you said that.
Well, I do episodes with Carrie most of the time.
That's true. Oh, we haven't done one together. Yeah. Oh, okay.
No, that's so good. I want to go back to that because, I've never thought of, for the agents that are wanting to recruit, does an agent who's brand new want to go work for someone that they've never heard of, or the first thing they're doing, we're like, I got my health insurance license. Mm-hmm. I want to go try to find a place to work because maybe independent's not for them, or they just want an office to go to, and they're like,
accountability.
Yeah,
they just want
a job.
Yeah,
they don't want the business side of it. They're just like, no, I need a job. To be like, I need to know this place before I sign up to go work there.
There's that. There's the whole, these people look like they're having a great time. This looks like a great office culture. This person's out there. He's training. He's learning that would attract. Yeah. You want to attract high-achieving people. You have to be a high-achieving brand.
Dang.
And with that, there's also a mark of, your brand, once it gets a certain level of familiarity, once you get a certain... There's lead generation within having a good brand. Yeah. If I'm a person starting on my own, then... no one knows who's me from Adam. Again, I have to overcome that trust barrier. They don't know me. They don't know my company. They don't know my brand. The only thing I have to build credibility is the carriers that I represent and their naming. That's who I'm basing all of my credibility on, which is scary in today's market when we're having carriers take months to approve. And so we can't bank on carriers to get us started in building this credibility. Yeah. If you're a magnet market organization, then people, even if they don't know, I'll use our sister company, Senior Benefit Services. People don't know Olivia Richardson. I know that's shocking. People don't know Olivia Richardson, but they know Senior Benefit Services. So if I carry that logo, I carry that brand, I'm representative of them. It's less of a trust barrier because the brand's already trusted.
Yeah.
So keeping that in mind now, I do want to go over some just really quick, just kind of so what are some different practices? What is prospecting, getting business tomorrow? What's marketing? And then my favorite thing that accomplishes both. There's very few things. That's what the best marketing strategies have, is things that do not kill two birds with one stone.
Mm-hmm.
It is
Two birds with one stone.
feed two birds with one stone. I did have a person watch the cafe once, and I said beat a dead horse, and she goes, "Excuse me, it's feed a fed horse."
There you go.
And I said, "No, ma'am." No, ma'am, it's not. We're beating the dead horse. I'm so sorry if that offends you. Now that I'm saying it with that tone, I see why it's offensive.
Yeah.
I actually never meant to take it all back. I'm sorry.
There's a dead horse
I
out
did.
back and she's just beating it. Just
For the bit.
yeah.
For the bit. For the bit. So,
Metaphor. It's metaphor. Don't take us down.
PETA. So here is where the best marketing strategies. I say 3-pronged. 4-pronged if you can do it, but sometimes it gets expensive. You spread yourself too thin. It's hard to measure what's actually working. Anything less than 3, you don't keep your funnel full. Keeping your funnel full means that if you get 100 prospects into your appointments for a month, you might get 10 sales out of it. Keeping your funnel full, if you don't have a bunch of people going into this funnel, you're not going to get a bunch of sales going into it. So prospecting ideas that I have found that have worked, that people really like. The easiest, quickest turnaround is just going to be like purchasing leads.
Yep.
That's really popular. We could do a whole podcast, we should at some point, of our favorite lead types, our favorite lead generations, how to work certain leads, how to get the best results of that. But like Facebook leads, internet leads, telephonic leads, we're seeing kind of a resurgence of direct mailers.
Yep.
But oh gosh, there's so much information about leads. Like my biggest thing, if you're going to use prospecting and lead gen, stay away from the turning 65 market.
Yeah.
Because
Oversaturated.
it's so oversaturated and we will not stand out. I mean, like you as an individual agent do not have the budget to compete with Mutual of Omaha, United Healthcare, Medicare itself. So
That's where you need some of the pull.
yeah, that's where
It's
that's such a good point. The T65 market, that's 100% pull.
Yeah.
That is 100%. They're doing the research. They're actively looking for an advisor. They want somebody to make sure that they have the reputation to help them. T65, that's where you're going to do your pull marketing, your marketing, your pull, your push, your prospecting. Your money's better well spent at an older
we're talking
demographic.
prospecting.
Yeah, people who are way less targeted. But that's again, like that's my prospecting. Sitting in sales kiosks, like if you're doing AEP, during OEP, if you did it during AEP, do it during OEP. Sitting at like a food bank booth, sitting at whenever you are there, and people are coming to your booth because they see you're representing Humana. They see that you're representing United Healthcare. They're there sitting in a booth that is what I would consider a prospecting method. Formal sales events too, maybe even less so, but formal sales events is when you're up and presenting to an audience, but you're presenting on behalf of a carrier. That's a little bit of both, but people are there because they're recognizing the brand. They're recognizing the brand that you're representing there. So that's more of that prospecting side. Do a couple of those. If you're going to not do, I actually am a huge fan of prospecting, not using Medicare products, using things like cancer insurance, using things like final expense, just because they're less, I actually go either way. Medicare is less of a commodity, so it requires less trust, less sales technique because it's more of a commodity product compared to like a life insurance. Cancer, actually, I'm going to go against everything I just said. Nobody thinks they're going to get cancer. So if you're selling cancer insurance, no one thinks they're going to get cancer. Even if, no, that'll be too far.
This is
Yeah.
Mhm.
Coming from someone who's had it two times now. Yeah.
2-0. Just want to put that out there.
Hell yeah.
Get ready.
But like I actually was working with a lead vendor. I'm like, let's do a cancer drop. He says it is a waste of your money because no one thinks they're gonna get cancer.
Yeah.
So thinking of that.
Well, like if you're comparing it to final expense, you're like.
But no one wants to talk about death.
I know, but like I know I'm gonna die. I don't think I'm ever gonna get cancer.
It's so true. But no one.
I don't want to talk about either of them.
But I think final expense would even get a higher return because no one wants to talk about it. So there's not a lot of people doing final expense leads out there.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll do a whole freaking episode on lead types because I think there's just this needs to be discussed.
Yeah.
Marketing. My thing.
Jot that down.
Jot that down. I want you to have a mic by then. Marketing is where my heart comes. I'm a marketer at heart. I love the conversation on marketing because you get to be creative with it. As long as you are tying a good reputation, positive things to your brand, you really can't lose. But it's harder to measure because very few times are people going to come in and say, I saw your billboard, so I came into your office.
Yeah.
It takes somebody between 5 to 12 times to see your message before they act on it. And by the time they're acting on it, they have no idea where they even saw you. It's very subliminal. It can, for sure. So, but my favorite marketing activity, which is both marketing and prospects, say it with me, events. You didn't say it with me.
Oh,
I
buffer.
You buffer. Doing events, like an educational event, is the best, and honestly, in my opinion, one of the only ways where you are marketing, because one, you're advertising it. It's not a sales event, so you're not advertising that it's a carrier. You're not advertising that anything like that, but you're advertising your services, which is education about financing healthcare. Sometimes that's a Medicare 101. That's an educational event. Don't love those as much. I love events like top 10 things you didn't know about Medicare, how your veterans benefits coordinates with Medicare, how Medicare works when you leave the hospital, how does your diabetes. How does it work with Medicare? We have all of these. These are seminars in a box. We have them made. You can use them. They don't need to be registered. They're not CMS affiliated. But what I love about that, one, you get a call to action and a non-registered branding event that is basically saying, if you have questions about this, Medicare is so vast. It's very individualized. What your Medicare looks like is going to be different than what your husband, their wives, what they're going to expect from the Medicare. Have a conversation with me. So you can still have a really strong call to action, but you're also, so you get to do that prospecting. You will get appointments out of doing this if you do it correctly. You will get appointments. It is prospecting, but you're also building yourself as the hero of your community, as this giver of content, as this expert. So it is one of the best ways that you can do both that you can do both prospecting and marketing.
And one of the episodes that I did watch because I was on it, you talked about how the events rules are changing for 2027.
Yes, for 2027.
Full circle. Let's bring it back, call back to the beginning here.
Yeah.
But that we're going to be able to do SOAs at those events.
Yes.
And that's going to be so helpful to influence those clients to legitimately have that appointment booked because there's a thing done.
Guys, I have a 10:30 meeting that is very important. Not that you all aren't important, and not that I don't love the time we have together, but I think my rambling has to come to an end.
Because you can do it for days.
Well,
we'll come back.
I could leave you to it, but then Alex would have to come on.
It would. I don't know if the people are ready.
The people aren't ready. Let me check my
for a
text
solo
messages.
Clayton episode.
I do have a couple texts. Should I be proactive and tell my existing Medicare supplement clients about an 18% rate increase come April? It's inappropriate to get people off. Oh my gosh, this is a conversation in itself. Yes. God, I don't have time. I want to talk about this. Write it down. Handling large med sub rate increases.
You 1,000% should.
I'm going to text you. I'm going to text you my response to this, but I'm going to make that a cafe episode.
You 1,000%
Gina.
should.
Avid fan of our podcast, so listen to it afterwards. Thank you, Gina. I have a client moving to Wisconsin. I know you have brokers out there who can give me a name of somebody to call. Clayton, can I give you Gina's information and give her one of our Wisconsin brokers?
Yeah, figure it out.
Gina, we got you. I gotta go.
I got a map.
I love you guys so much. Thank you guys, Gina. This made my day.
Thanks, guys.
You guys can be as mean to me as you want. I don't care. Gina likes me.
Okay.
Until next, okay. Which med sup company in Florida is the most liberal underwriting? Oh.
I mean,
can you text me?
Pete
I know
Nooms.
you're Pete. I know who
Pete.
you are.
Yep.
We know Pete. Pete, we'll reach out to you.
I think
we know Pete. We love Pete.
I think Ben runs Florida now.
I gotta go.
I'll talk to Ben about you, Pete.
Until next time, guys, have fun
Make money.
and give impeccable service. Love you guys.
Bye.
Thank you.